Good morning, traders. This is Barry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is uh, Tuesday, September 2nd. So, welcome to the last third of the third quarter. So, as we look back at Friday's action, right, we had that push down uh, early in the morning, and then we just flagged and went sideways. As we look at the NQ, it was basically stuck in an 80-point range and oscillating right around QQQ 570, and then just going through and even if you look at the expected move of the day, the low, coiled up under that for the SPY and well below it for the ES, and you can see over here the VIX popping up over the previous day's high, which is a good sign for lower prices. And then as we look at, again, to illustrate, you know, from the overnight session, down 200 points and then just oscillating back and forth pretty well, uh, as you will. So we'll see, what we get from there. But basically, you were sitting at 570. Uh, there. And then as we look at what that does to structure, we had excess in A and all of the indexes. We had some poor structure in the Russell and in the ES. So we'll be watching those. So as we look at ahead, really at the week here of what's going on. We're going to have, I don't have it on here because it was a last minute ad, but that's the title of my video today. President Trump's going to be on at 2 o'clock today. It says it's, you know, it could be anything, but there's been, rumors from everything that he's dead or whatever, so it could just be about his health. But I'm sure there'll be a broad array of topics that are touched upon during this, and we'll just have to see, uh, really what that does. So the market may be a little hesitant before that, and it could be a little, up and down. We'll get into the overnight action here in a second, but you can see that basically 6,500 was our call wall last week. We've hit that last Thursday and just kind of fell straight back down. Uh, Now we're at the untested point of control, uh, going back to August 21st, which is at 63.88 quarter. So we just kind of traded that in the overnight here. The low was 87.75, so that was what was just touched as we just flickered in here, and you can see the Nasdaq, the NQ, coming back and checking that 2360 level. The low was 60 quarter right now, and we'll see if it holds. But you can imagine that everybody and their brother that was long for the last week or week and a half has stops below this 23,060 level, and the same with the ES. That the stops are going to be below 6358. If you will. So, overnight action or, 450 points in the NQ. And as we look at the ES here, uh, right at 95 points. So that's a pretty good run down overnight so far. And as we, look at where we are on the foregrid, you can just see it was, liquidation break, and that really started right at around 3 a.m. Uh, last night. So right around the time that the Euro traders started getting to their desk. So a nice little push down. If we look at the overnight volume, uh, we it's not really that high. We have 215,000 contracts in the ES and 125,000 contracts uh, and the NQ that have won off uh, overnight so far. So let's look at really positioning. You can see, and I want to bring your attention to this, that the VIX is rising, right? So it just spiked up again. So if we, just kind of go down here and look at the last 5 days. We're at a 5-day high right now on the VIX, which all things being equal means that we should be at a 5-day low, which we are as I'm talking right now. So we'll see what we can get the VIX to, but keep in mind 19 to 20 has been kind of like a little bit of a lid on the VIX. So we could, bring up a longer term chart and see what we think, and maybe Jack will do that sometime today while he's on the mic in the morning. Uh, but as we look at that, that's probably what we're going to need uh, to form a little bit more of a base here. We're going to need this VIX to fall into a long or a short sequence, if you will. So as we look at where we're at, and remember the expected high of the day moves and low of the day moves, they come in from the previous day's trading, right? So that was Friday as closed now is what we're looking back at to calculate that. So I would take that with a little bit of a grain of salt. But you can look at more to the positioning than that. But they are, for reference, remember we closed below the expected low of the day move uh, last week on Friday. So we'll see what we get, obviously liquidation breakdown. So we've moved down $10 in the Qs basically in the overnight session. So you're looking, or since, I'm sorry, since Friday, uh, and we'll just go from that. But that's over 400 points. So we could get a little bit more of a basing. And what I'd like to see is, do we end up getting over this mid, which is around 23,150 of these current prices, or are we going to just keep one time framing down? We are one time framing down now, so you'd be smart to look for structure before dipping in long at this point in time. So looking at where the call wall is for the SPY and the SPX, so let's start off with it. It's still at 6,500, but the put wall now is down at 6,300 is where you're looking at. So we would still go from Friday's close uh, down 150 points to hit that, and we're down 77 points right now from Friday's close. Looking at the SPY, the call wall is still at 650. The put wall is down at 620. So, we're just in the middle of that. Nothing really, uh, to make you want to step your in and buy right here. And then you're looking at 550 to 580 on the Q. So again, we're kind of mid-range on that as well. So we do have some clusters of you know, areas. So right up from 571 to 574, which we're currently trading 560. So I don't think we have to worry about that anytime soon. And then we have a cluster here uh, that's really from 560 to 565. Uh, and then as we look at that, that's again where we're at right now. So, and then there's that finer cluster that's between 558 to 562. We just entered into that 558 to 562. So we'll see if we get, just kind of chop around there. Getting it back above 562 to 562 half, I think leads you up towards 564 to 565 because there's not as much positioning up in that end of the world right now. Um, so I'm gonna see what Jack has look at. Remember, it's probably gonna be a little bit loose. We do have news at 10 o'clock today. We have ISM, so keep that in mind. And I think there might even be some news at 9:45. But the major news besides Trump speaking at 2 o'clock this afternoon is the ISM at 10. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day. I'll be around in the room, and then we'll see how this open goes. See if we, you know, get a little bit of a bid up into a retracement for a potential short, or if they just continue to flush. And you really have to take the SPX in 25 to 50 point increments at this point in time. Again, we are down. If we were to open right now, we had just touched in the overnight session what would be equivalent to The cash market trading 63.75 is around this overnight low, just slightly above 63.75. So we'll see if 6,400 ends up being resistance, uh, which would be right around 64.10 this morning. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.